Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am friend Shai Pearson. Welcome again to my channel. It is March 14th of 2025, 9:54 in the a.m. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Let's say it together. Praise our God, from whom all blessings flow. Pray you guys have a tremendous day in our Father. Okay, so government shutdown. Where have we heard that before? It's like every 4 or 5 months we brace ourselves to see if certain departments and X amount of people will be cut off at the knees, stress related, because they will not get income. And the Republicans and Democrats go back and forth bickering, and they parade their thoughts and views or whatever as they hash it out through the media. Get us all worked up, and then at the end of the day, they get it done. What a challenge, huh? Well, you know, tonight they've got to push this thing home. And so far, we have brother Chuck Schumer, who folks have said caved last night, and he's going to say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. I might not like the Donald, but hey, the people of America, we can't let them hurt like this. We got to go ahead and compromise and get it done. Folks are just saying outright betrayal. Outright betrayal. Did I say midnight tonight? Well, did you know that we got a blood moon going on simultaneously? And isn't it coincidence? Don't you find it a little bit suspicious that the blood moon ends tonight on March 14th? At the same time, the deadline for the vote, call it Trump's budget vote, that's due tonight too. Could there be a connection? You see, as I was doing the research since yesterday, it dawned on me. I'm like, you know what? I think something is speaking without speaking. I think the metaphysical world is controlling our realm, more so from the dark side than the light, at least in the governmental structure. So I want to take you guys on a voyage this morning and show you this back and forth between Republicans and Democrats. Then I want to show you how it connects to the metaphysical world, because it's speaking. Beware the Ides of March.
The Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, is backing down on his fight to block Trump's agenda, handing the president a big win.
Aisha Hasni is live on Capitol Hill with all the details for us. Hey, Aisha. Hey, good morning to you guys. So we are expecting that vote on cloture to happen about 1:15 this afternoon. That is the most important vote, even more important than the government funding bill, because it unlocks that government funding bill. And that vote requires 8 Democrats to help Republicans out. That is why there's been so much beef on Capitol Hill. So we are still waiting to see how many Democrats who will join Senator Schumer after he made that big announcement last night. And the Democratic Party, really in crisis mode right now, because there are still so many Democrats in the House and in the Senate that oppose this government funding bill because it does not include that provision they wanted that would block President Trump and Elon Musk and Doge from cutting more from the federal government that they are trying to fund right now.
So that's the big thing right there. It doesn't include that. Why? What a political strategy, like a chess game. You toss that in the mix and you get your way. Can we conveniently say that President Donald J. Trump and Julius Caesar, they at it again? Is this just happening like this? They throw that in the game? That Trump again is in the shadows, working his magic? Hey, chess is chess, right? The art of the deal. Speaking of art of the deal, here he is.
Last night, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that while they didn't get what they wanted, he is going to help fund the government because a shutdown, he says, would have been far more worse for federal workers. It would have given President Trump powers to decide who is essential and who is not.
A shutdown would give Donald Trump and Elon Musk carte blanche to destroy vital government services at a significantly faster rate than they can right now.
This change of heart came right after a heated lunch among Senate Democrats yesterday in which it sounded like Senator Kirsten Gillibrand screaming at her colleagues about how a shutdown would look for them. Meanwhile, Republicans are out there taking a victory lap.
Chuck Schumer overplayed his hands, and fortunately we had Leader Thune who just outmaneuvered him. Thune said from the very beginning of this Congress that the Democrats can either do this the easy way or do it the hard way, and they have chose the hard way the entire time.
Meanwhile, some Democrats, like AOC, are eviscerating Schumer right now.
What do you think? What do you think? Backs against the wall. AOC is saying, hey, what's up? I want to show you guys a few things. Here's Kristen Gillibrand. Man, from my research, they said when they closed their door, you could hear the hollering back and forth. And she was one of the main people raising her voice. Now, when you negotiate, you negotiate. You do it with passion. Or is this all a dog and pony show? Was this all theater? Right? Because she said, hey, Schumer, we got to get this done. And Schumer eventually caved. Well, I checked out some numbers on her, but I can't wait to show you a story beyond the numbers, so just hold tight. She's 58 years old. Her birthday is 12/9 of 1966, but 12/9 is her birthday. If you take 12/9/2025, her birthday this year, versus Donald Trump's birthday this year, 6/14/2025, the difference is 178 days. And what's 178? The 178th day of the year is June 27th. What happened on June 27th? That points to the day that Donald J. Trump beat Biden. He whooped him off his pants on June 27th. Is that coincidence? You've been seeing that a lot in my decodes, haven't you? So what it comes down to is that it shows June 27th, the day that Trump won that debate, and then boom, Trump went on and catapulted to become president. You think all this is coincidence? That she's raising her voice toward the goal. Schumer caved, but it shows in relation to the numbers 627. Trump. Now, here's her birthday again, 12/9/2024, last year, versus yesterday's date of the so-called negotiation, 3/13 of 2025. The difference is 95 days. And what's the 95th day of the year? That's April 5th. Isn't Trump the 45th president? It appears Julius Caesar's at it again, that these folks do not have their own will being done. That is the people's will. The numbers are speaking. What do you think? Now check this out. Here's Chuck Schumer. He wind up caving. 11/23 is his birthday. Take 11/23/2026 of that next birthday, subtract it from yesterday's so-called negotiation. The difference is 88 weeks. Trump's text number is 88022. Is that coincidence? Now let's get into the story part again. Here you got some folks talking about government shutdown. They say some blisterous words here. Check it out.
You said earlier you were a, quote, hell no on the Republican CR. Are you still a hell no?
Oh, absolutely. And here's what it comes down to. If you want to stop a bully, you don't hand over your lunch money. And if you want to stop a tyrant, you don't hand them more power. What we have seen in this extraordinary set of circumstances is a president who's taken down the watchdogs in terms of the inspector generals, fired the FBI agents who look over executive branch, who is trying to intimidate the press, and who is trying to intimidate Congress. And we have seen republics around the world fall because Congress becomes intimidated. Well, the Republicans on both sides are intimidated. The House Democrats don't have the power to stop on the House side, so the only power rests with us to use our 60-vote power to force a negotiation. I feel like the path we are on for tomorrow night, in which Democrats will provide votes, will not accomplish that negotiation. In fact, clearly it won't. Back in
midnight tonight will be March 15th. And that, people historically, that's beware the Ides of March. Didn't Julius Caesar die on 315? How is it that all this is lining up towards Caesar? Oh yeah, I'm about to go somewhere. Here's Hakeem Jeffries. You know, it seems like every year he looking more and more like Barack Obama. I digress. But as he's speaking, I couldn't help but look at this. Is that Plum? Check it out what he got to say about this government shutdown and who's right and who's wrong and what would possibly happen.
In this town no longer work for the American people. They're not even pretending. That is why they've set in motion the largest possible cut to Medicaid in American history. They're prepared to hurt their own constituents as part of a scheme to enact massive tax cuts for their billionaire donors, the wealthy, the well-off, and well-connected corporations. That's what this scheme is all about. And so it should not surprise anyone that House Republicans continue to bend the knee to Donald Trump and their billionaire puppet master, Elon Musk. Should not surprise anyone. But the American people will have an opportunity to speak, and when they do next November, it will not be pretty.
People, I did some research. I've been trying to get a leverage on this thing like I did a video about a week and a half ago. It's got to go through the phases. Once they get this money, you know, approved, both sides, Senate and House, then they got to hash it out if there will be any cuts. So far, in my humble opinion, he just put the cart before the horse. So it's like a scare tactic. I mean, there's a remote possibility that they will cut Medicaid a little bit. Waste, fraud, and abuse. I don't want to bore you with the videos, but you've seen them. Speaker of the House said it less than, 6-7 days ago. Trump has said it. They put a microphone in his face. They say, look, it's like a broken record. We're going to go after waste, fraud, and abuse. We got to see what happens within sometime next week. I'm sure we're going to start seeing. And that's the true story at that point. Until then, it's a scare tactic to, push back. And who knows? Maybe to get Trump to add some more money to protect the social programs. Who knows what the leverage is? I just want to be fair about this thing, okay? I'm praying they don't cut at all any social programs. Now, this will be the last video, but it's all in the ball of wax. I want you to keep your eye on the economy in general, okay? Because as all this is going on, we're having our so-called biblical birth pains in relation to economy. The president he keep giving us little codes, no matter if it's a 25%, 50%, and I even heard that the possibility of 100% tariff. That there's going to be a little transition. but at the end, the economy is going to boom. This is what I hear him saying. But what are you guys saying when you own these companies and grocery prices are going up? Okay? Liquor is going up. In fact, I brought you guys a video last week. They took American liquor off the shelves in Canada. Oh boy, should I crack a joke and say it won't be no liquor, it won't be no rappers there since they have in their videos pour out a little liquor? But yeah, check this out. I want you to understand there's a storm going on, and it's economics. Will we come out of it as we transcend into the golden age? Let Trump put it.
To the stock market plunge as President Trump ramps up his tariff threats. The S&P 500 is now down more than 10% from its record high set less than a month ago. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, has the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Well, the president insists the U.S. will ultimately benefit from these tariffs, but Wall Street is clearly not convinced as we are seeing new signs this morning that Trump's trade war is taking a real toll on the American economy. This morning, new alarm bells on Wall Street as the president's trade war escalates. The Dow plunging more than 500 points, and for the first time in 2 years, the S&P 500 going into correction territory, down 10% from its high last month. A benchmark that speaks to investor anxiety over Trump's tit-for-tat tariffs. Still, the president says he's not backing down.
We've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all.
In fact, he's vowing to go even further, threatening a 200% tariff on all wine, champagne, and alcohol coming out of France and the European Union. Saying,
people, you know that's got to be crazy. American business cannot adjust like that. We just can't. Now, you know they're floating around this thing, and I hate to go off the beaten path, but it just hit my brain. These $5,000 Doge checks, you heard about that? Will we get the $5,000 Doge check? And then one of his advisors, I forgot his name, I read about 4 or 5 days ago. It's all over the internet. TikTok, the guy's saying, anybody make under less than $150,000, you won't pay any taxes. Okay, how are you going to offset that? What do I mean by that? If nobody has to pay taxes under $150,000, who's going to make up the shortfall? How are you going to do it? I'm just putting it out there. Because, baby, ain't no free lunch. If they don't make an adjustment on that figure, the $150,000, no taxes, and they don't make an adjustment of giving us all $5,000, the Doge check, if they don't make an adjustment on that, all it means is that our social programs in terms of Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, it speeds up the process so that next time they have a government shutdown question, probably 2 years from now, the question will already be answered because there's not enough money in the till to take care of us, the senior citizens and people who need the money. I digress. Let me get back to my story here about this government shutdown. Check it out. Midnight. Senate races to prevent government shutdown before midnight. I want you to think this thing about to get spiritual. As the earth moves between the sun and the moon will take on a deep red shade. The night sky is delivering a rare spectacle. A total lunar eclipse is underway on the night of March 13th through 14th, 2025. And the moon is cast in a deep coppery hue, red hue. This eclipse is observable from Earth's western hemisphere. Translated, beware the Ides of March. I just can't get over it. And thank you, Holy Spirit, for letting me put this thing together. And you guys will appreciate how I'm going to wrap this up. Because this is saying beware the Ides of March. Not only do you have a government shutdown, but you got a moon, a red moon. How is it that both of them line up at the same time? Tonight there's going to be this red moon that goes to midnight. At the same time, you got the government shutdown. Make a decision by midnight. Government shutdown, blood moon, lunar eclipse. Today's date, 3/14/2025, translates into 222. I think we're on to something. I said I think we're on to something. You guys been around for a while. You know what 222 means. The beast of Revelation, the Antichrist system. Antichrist Barack Obama, 222. I say it's speaking. I say it's connected. I say it was all done on purpose. They're lining things up. The government is reflecting the spiritual aspect. That's what I believe. Government shutdown, blood moon, lunar eclipse, 3/14/2025. What are the odds it line up to that? Nothing's good coming out of either one. The gods are involved. Watch what I show you. Take 3/14/2025, that's today, with the vote and the blood moon, versus Trump's last birthday, 6/14/2024. The difference is what? 274 days. My God. Trump's last birthday, subtracted from today's birthday, is exactly Trump's last birthday, subtracted from today's date, is exactly 274 days. I ran a video last year because you guys know I covered the Democratic National Convention. And the day that Joe Biden spoke was exactly 274 days from his last birthday. Do you understand what's going on? I'm going to say it again. When Joe Biden spoke at the Democratic National Convention last year, right here in Chicago, I did a few videos on it. When you look at his last birthday of 2023, which was, I believe, November 20th, and subtracted from the day that he spoke at the DNC, it was exactly 274 days. And now you got today's date, subtracted from Trump's last birthday, is 274. Don't you tell me these guys ain't speaking. 274 is the day that the Roman Empire went back. They shunned Christianity and did what? They started worshiping the sun god, Sol Invictus. This is where we're going. This is the golden age. This is why Republican and Democrat are giving you the illusion that they're squabbling over something. But all they're doing is shaping everything governmentally for this, for these gods. This is who I believe they're worshiping, allegedly, and we don't know anything about it. But the numbers that I'm putting together for you. Look, in ancient Rome, a blood moon was seen as a mix of fear and superstition, with Romans believing celestial events like eclipse could be omens or signs of divine intervention. Romans, like many ancient cultures, viewed celestial events with a mix of awe and apprehension. A blood moon with its unusual red hue would likely have been seen as a significant event, potentially carrying an ominous and auspicious meaning. The moon was a potent symbol in Roman culture, and Luna, the moon, that moon god, the female, the Roman moon goddess, was associated with agricultural cycle and the idea of rebirth. Of course, because it's a woman, it's a feminine move. A blood moon, like a menstrual. Oh, I hate to go there, but think about it. A blood moon, it's a birth. It's a birth. Could have been interpreted as a sign related to Luna's influence or the I can't pronounce it sometimes, I apologize. Cyclical nature of life and death. The Romans might have feared the blood moon, believing it could be a sign of bad luck or a harbinger of misfortune. Rituals or sacrifices might have been performed to appease the gods and ward off any potential negative consequences. But check this out. The famous warning, beware the Ides of March, March 15th, which is tonight, is associated with the assassination of Julius Caesar. And while not directly linked to a blood moon, it highlights the Roman belief in omens and the potential of celestial events to influence human affairs. I believe they tied it in. Check it out.
Beware the Ides of March.
A popular phrase, but what exactly does it mean? In Roman times, the term Ides was most likely referring to the day of the full moon, and was used to describe the 15th day of the months March, May, July, and October, and the 13th day in the other months. The Ides of March was also a festive day dedicated to the Roman god of war, Mars, and a military parade was usually held. On March 15, 44 BC, Julius Caesar was stabbed to death in the Roman Senate, an event dramatically recreated in Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, where a seer foresaw Caesar's demise and told him, beware the Ides of March.
And what did he say in 44 what? Listen.
Julius Caesar was stabbed to death in the Roman Senate, an event dramatically recreated in Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, where a seer foresaw Caesar's demise and told the Ides of March was also a festive day dedicated to the Roman god of war, Mars, and a military parade was usually held. On March 15, 44 BC, Julius...
44 BC. Isn't that something? I want to see something right quick. 44 BC. And we know that Barack Obama was the 44th president. And speaking of him, if you take today's date, 3/14/2025, versus Barack Obama's last birthday, August 4th, 2024, you get 7/13. On 7/13 in Butler, Pennsylvania, Trump was hit in the head allegedly. And there's your 222. Does this mean beware the Ides of March? Today's date, subtracted from Barack Obama's last birthday, 8/4, comes out to 7/13. Stay tuned. I'm Friend Shot Pearson. God bless.